Welcome, 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 friends. Welcome to an Awakening Mastery webinar. It is my absolute joy to welcome you to this time together. We are in for a real treat. The subject of today's webinar together is your body's awakening consciousness with Rajeshwari Ma. My name is Triveni Das. I'm the managing director of Awaken Life, teacher, and also a monk in the order of Sai Ma Brahmachari. And my dear sister, Rajeshwari Ma, is as well. And I'd like to welcome you all from around the world, joining us as we elevate our awareness of our body's consciousness, of the importance of the body in the evolution of consciousness right now. And we are in for a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deep dive with Rajeshwari Ma. Now, as we prepare to be with Rajeshwari Ma, I have a question for all of you. At the beginning of this year, we launched our Awaken Life memberships. And I want to know who is on this webinar that's in one of our memberships. So the way we're going to do this right now is I'm going to put a little poll into the chat. Our production team will. And if you could just let us know if you're in one of the layers of the membership or you're not, so that we have a sense of the audience that we're with right now. So on the webinar poll right there, you'll see, you can go ahead and click and give us a sense of what you're coming. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll mention more at the end about our memberships and how they can support you in continuing this work that we're doing today. So I'm just looking right now and welcome all of you beautiful Sai Ma Consciousness webinar, Sai Ma Consciousness members. Welcome all you beautiful Grand Design members. Welcome all you beautiful Awakening Mastery members, and welcome all of you beautiful community members. It's so wonderful to see. Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. So as we prepare to be with Rajeshwari Ma, I'll introduce her in a moment. I invite you to just take a deep breath with me. This is awakening our body's consciousness. I want to invite us to connect in with our body in this moment. So go ahead and take a deep breath. Hold the breath for a moment and then exhale, strong exhale. You may have noticed I was moving my hands as I did that. So I invite you to move your hands as well, bringing your hands in. Full inhale. And then release the arms with the exhale there. And again, a full inhale. And exhale. Let's do that one more time and invite you to really release any tension that you have in your body as we do this. Yeah, just allow your body to relax, to settle in, to know that it's being heard and cared for as we dive deeper into this webinar. As we open ourselves to receive. Now, for those meeting Rajeshwari Ma for the first time, Rajeshwari Ma has been teaching and in the healing and spiritual path for over 25 years. She studied extensively a phenomenal spiritual teacher such as Jerome Melchizedek, Stephen Weiss, the osteopath, Rosalind Breer, and many, many others that really form some of the foundational knowledge around energy work, healing work, osteopathy in the world today. She has been on a deep and profound spiritual path for many, many, many years. And along with me, consider Sai Ma our guru, our teacher, our guiding force in our lives. And Rajeshwari Ma has dedicated her life to service, to serving others as a brahmacharini, as a Mahamandaleshwar, or a nun in the order of Sai Ma Brahmacharya. She's currently the managing director of Sai Ma Japan and heads the Japanese healing program. She's a hands-on healer, a teacher, human being extraordinaire. Lucky to have her. Rajeshwari Ma, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Jai Sai Ma. Thank you, Triveni. for that beautiful introduction. And I'm just looking and seeing all of your beautiful faces. So good to be with you all. Ah, wonderful. Thank you for being with me today, with us on this journey of the body's awakening consciousness. This title just did something for me when I was feeling into this, and Sai must have been saying to me, talk about the awakening consciousness and speak with everybody about this and the body. And so, because I've had the great privilege over the last 20 years that I've been with Ma, 21 years that I've been with Ma, many times to be able to be with Ma also with and working with Ma's physical body. And in that, in this time of extraordinary shift and change on the planet, just being witness to how much change Saima is bringing into Saima's body, into her physical body, as the shifts on the energy are coming through, and to be able to witness and see how Ma is using the body as a laboratory to see how the energies are shifting, not only what the body is, but who we are and how we are. Like, who are we on this planet? And my, as Triveni was introducing me, whether it's a healer, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a mother, whether it's a monk, a nun, whether it's a disciple or a sister or a friend, we can give ourselves a title in so many ways, but digging deeper and kind of going through that line of different levels of who I may think I am, and kind of starting to strip away all the labels. What is left? Who am I? What am I? And in that inquiry of who am I emerges, well, what is health? What is this physical body? What is energy? And how are we present on planet Earth? And when we talk about shifting times, how the energy is shifting, how so much energy is coming to the planet, and all of these things, what does that mean? If you're like me, you might have wondered at some point, like, this body takes so much work. As Ma says, you have to brush it, you have to brush the teeth, you have to wash it, you have to feed it, you have to, poop it out, you got to do all kinds of things just to take care of the body. Like, what is this body about? Like, you don't have to do it in the other realms. And yet we've chosen to be here. We've chosen to take and incarnate and take on these physical bodies. Why? What is so, like, amazing? What is so interesting or even intricate about this physical body that so many of us have chosen to take this, create this on our journey, on a spiritual journey through the cosmos? Like, being on planet Earth is so unique. And having these physical bodies is unique beyond unique. We have the physical bodies, we have free choice, we have all this stuff going on that is only here on Earth. And that's not a random thing. The body, the decisions, the free choice, all of that comes together. And many of you also know that I've been in this inquiry. I find healing as an inquiry. It's not like a end goal. Whether it's I'm a doctor, to me, it's this inquiry, this ever ongoing inquiry. And then the inquiry into what, right? What are we inquiring into? What is it like? As a child, we can be like so absorbed into finger moving, touching, and it's just like this amazing thing. Move it around, and we start there. Is about finding out what this all is. But this lifelong journey, random thing. One moment, I'll see if I can get.
Rajeshwari is working on it. There's some technical
Okay,
difficulty.
I'm working on my side too.
Yeah, looks like there's some internet in and out.
One moment. Once. Okay, is that any better? Is it still freezing? Is it better?
It's a little better. Yes, it's slightly choppy, but we can see and hear you now. Yes.
Okay, good. I'll try to slow down. I think I was like, and it just blew me off of the network. So I'm gonna keep it here. And this, so I'm not sure where people, I'll just say one more time what I was talking about, this inquiry of life, what the body is. And I've been on this healing path for about 30 years now and pretty much went through every modality I could find in this inquiry, whether it's cranial work and going into the waves, whether it's sound, whether it's movement, whether it's massage, whether it's osteopathy, whether I found like every teacher I could like that I was fascinated by, and just like, what is this body about? Why do we have this body? And if we leave the body and go to source and remember everything and all that we are, why do we have a body in the first place? Haven't you ever thought about that? If we leave here and remember everything, what's the use of coming here to forget? It's all in this inquiry. It's all in this experiencing. When we forget that we're everything, and then we come here, kind of land in this body, and try to figure out, okay, why am I here? Did it ever happen to you walk into the kitchen something like, why did I walk in here? I know I came to do something. I can't remember what that is. It's kind of like that on planet Earth for us. We came here, we don't remember why. We're supposed to do something, and we figure out, well, maybe we're supposed to remember what we're supposed to. You're like, okay, let me remember what, and retracing our steps. And then we have this body. Well, in all the journeying that I've done, and all this time with Ma, what I'm really starting to get for me, and it's a continuing inquiry. It's in osteopathy, there's this sense that every body that you treat is a teacher. So it's like every person that you meet is teaching you something. It's a new experience, it's a new learning, it's a new part of the puzzle that we receive. And so if in this journey with the body, we're constantly finding out more about who we are and deepening in that knowingness because we keep diving deeper, then somewhere in that diving, we move into this place where we kind of get all the pieces coming together and it all starts to make sense. And we're talking about this time on earth as being the time of truth, Satya Yuga. So, what does truth mean? Truth of who we are. We've gone through this whole time of not knowing who we are, where we're trying to remember, and now we're moving into that remembrance. And why? And how does the body fit into that? And that's why I love, love craniosacral work and osteopathy and all of that whole part of the puzzle, because it all connects with what Saima speaks about. Ma has spoken about the power of our minds, where we have the conscious mind. You're day to day, third dimensional, everything through the five senses. We know about the world in this bandwidth, this frequency, through the conscious mind. And then we go deeper when you get into stillness. In the cranial sacral world, we call it going into a tide, or a fluid tide, a slower tide. We go into another part of our consciousness, or our brain, which we know in the world of the power of your minds, of our minds, as our subconscious mind. And then in our subconscious mind, there's a vast amount of information that we're not even aware of in our conscious three-dimensional five senses mind, right? And the central nervous system takes us through that. We go into this place of the subconscious, and then into what Ma calls the unconscious, where we keep expanding all the way to the point where we're all the way back in source, into that initial point of where we come all the way back from all that is, which we could call the supraconscious mind. So we have these different levels of mind, starting from third dimension here on planet Earth, physical body. Physical body has five senses. These senses give us all this information, all this understanding that we're taking in from this bandwidth of existence. But then behind it, we have the subconscious mind connected to so much more. It's not the five senses. It's our imagination. It's our memories. It's our intuition. It's all of these things that are what would seem intangible. And it's the nervous system that takes us through that. So without the physical body, we wouldn't have that understanding of the cognitive third dimension and how it connects into the intangible, unseen other dimensions of a reality, all the way back to when there's like a nothingness. And maybe you've experienced that place in your meditations. Maybe you've sometimes experienced this like incredible expansion or peace, like watching a sunset. Just, yeah, have you all ever experienced that in your lives? Yes, yes. And it's because we have these physical bodies and a central nervous system that we can experience all those levels here. We can bring all that experience here. We can be here in what looks like our reality, the third dimension, and we can experience all those places that we can expand into, or in our meditations, in those moments of great beauty, in those moments of great awe in the world, looking up at the stars at night. I used to live in Big Sur, California, where no house was allowed to have a light brighter than the brightest sun in the sky. So when you looked out over the valley, the whole valley looked like twinkly stars, and the stars above, and it just became 360 degrees of stars. And you could just feel that awe of life. And we get to experience that in the physical body. And that does something. That inquiry informs of something very sacred that we can take out of the intangible and bring it into the tangible. So the body's awakening consciousness is that place where we can take all that we're experiencing and become very aware of it. In our day to day, we can go through a million things and not consciously experience it. Have you had those days where a whole day's gone by and you can't remember a thing you did? Like there's an autopilot going on, like, yeah, somewhere I ate something, I can't remember what I had for breakfast. Or you walk to, in Japan, you'd walk to the train station, don't really remember how you got there because you catch the same train every morning and you can kind of get to work every day, you have your routine, and if there's something that stands out in the mind, it's because there was an interaction external to you, like somebody bumped into you or yelled at you, or it could be that somebody you had a wonderful conversation with. There's something that brought your awareness to it, so you remember, but otherwise, totally unaware, right? Like, how many times have you like consciously, like really tasted your day? Been aware and conscious of every conversation you've had. Like you've taken every person you've met fully in and experienced them and let them experience you. How often have you lived a full day like that where everything you did, you consciously made a decision to do or to say or to be versus I gotta get the kids, got off to school, and I gotta that, and I gotta drive over here, let's pick up that. And it's like a blur, right? And in that, the body's just kind of moving and going through its thing, but we're not really aware of it. We're not in gratitude to the body. We're not talking, most of us, to ourselves. Like, how are you? What do you need? Oh, need some water. Okay, let's hydrate. Let's hydrate you guys here. Or going to a grocery store and just randomly picking things versus, this is my body really wanting this? Am I craving this? Am I repelling this? And like, so starting to become moving into that awakening consciousness is moving into that place where we are aware of our choices, where we are aware of our decisions, where we start to live life from that place of aliveness rather than kind of like in that place where we're kind of dozing through the day without really kind of watching what's going on, right? And so when we're talking about the body awakening, it's when we become one, or we become in that, even before we become one, because we're a unit, we're a physical unit, and we're a unit called the physical body. We're the cell, we have cells, we have organs, we have the cells making up different things, the blood, and so many parts of our body. And so often we're not consciously aware of the body. We're not consciously aware of what's going on. And it's important. You don't want to have to keep thinking, okay, heartbeat. And oops, I kind of like forgot about the heart for a moment. I'll just skip a few beats here. And you want things to be on autopilot in a way on some aspects of our life in our body. But when I say being conscious, it's about, okay, I'm grateful that my heart is beating. And my heart is beating because there's prana, there's life force. It's not just a muscle beating. mechanically, unless we have a pacemaker, maybe it's mechanically. But even then, there's a life force, there's an energy of life that is beating through us. So when I'm connected to that in my heart, and I'm aware of the beating of my heart, when I'm connected to that in every cell of my body, when I'm connected to that in every organ, that's when I have that awakening, a conscious awakening of the body. Then I become aware and living with the body, because Ma speaks about how our body was never meant to die. It was never meant to die. Our body was never meant to get sick or be diseased, right? What does that mean? And several people have commented or asked, like, because Ma spoken about the perfect body, that part of us that's from source that holds the perfect blueprint. On the craniosacral or osteopathic teachings that I've studied, we refer to it, I've heard it referred as like the innate body or the physician within, or this life force within that has this blueprint, this perfect blueprint of creation. Because in embryology, when we are forming, the sperm and the egg meet, and there's a magic reaction that takes place, and the sperm and egg start to rotate, they start spinning. About 20 minutes after conception, they start spinning. And that's what we would call the first wave, or we can call it prana, life force, is entered the being. And then from there, the mitosis begins. One cells become two, two cells become four, and they keep doubling. And at one point, it just becomes like a glob of cells, unorganized cells. But at a point, a few weeks into the process, there's a streak that comes through the embryo. And from that streak, the spine begins to form, and the whole body begins to form around this. And we call that the primitive streak, or the midline. Is like this force of energy that's holding this blueprint of perfection, and the body starts to create everything, the spine, the organs, the whole body around it, but also our energy, who we are, what we've come to do. It's that innate part of us that holds all this information. And that innate energy, this is like this being that's with us. It comes in, it creates, and must sees it with us, like external maybe to the physical body, but it's always with us, and we can start having a conversation with it. But what does that mean, right? How do I talk to my innate body into this perfect being that I am for health, for for this health span? How do I talk to this perfection within me, to have this perfection of life, of of no disease, of all of that in this physical body? Because it's about having it in the physical body, because we are perfect outside of the physical body. We don't have death and all that stuff when we don't have the physical. So coming back to, why do I have this body? Why do I have this body for this short period of time, in terms of source time? And what do I learn while I'm here? So this perfect body, this blueprint, in this perfection, must know a lot about why our soul has brought us here, why we created the body in the first place. And create the body so beautifully that through our nervous system, we can actually, when you take a breath with me and drop in kind of into the center of your being, you can drop into the center of your spine, you can drop into your heart, and just allow your breath to sink deep in your being. One or two breaths, really nice, slow, deep breath. Good. You could open your eyes. Can you sense how your body just dropped into this deep quiet? You just shifted from the conscious mind to the subconscious realm. You just shifted into the tide in your being. And at that moment, as you shift into that, you're moving out of the third dimensional, kind of this form world, into the formless. In that moment, you're moving in to that place where the innate intelligence resides. And you did that through your breath. You did that through your intention to go within. You did that through your nervous system, your physical body. You're able to do that because you have this physical body. And just take that in, the how extraordinary this is. And when we can really be in that place deep within, can you feel how you're kind of like expanded out? Kind of in that state, you may not want to like jump in your car, run over to the grocery store to a really crowded place and buy like a whole bunch of Twinkies, right? Doesn't sound very appealing, right? In this moment, you just want to let me be in this. So you kind of go from that expanded place into, you galvanize, you bring the energy together to focus to, okay, I'm going to go and do this or create this. You kind of take all that and then you bring it into the physical world. You create in the physical world, whether it's creating a cake, whether it's creating a garden, whether it's creating music. You're So you take that and you bring it in for the purpose of experiencing it here. And then you experience something here. You take it in and you share back to source. And that's what we do here. We experience all these amazing things. But then we could take it back into source for all beings everywhere to experience that. It's like, whoa, I get to experience this sunset through Laura, or I get to experience this sensation of the sun on my face through Sandy, or I get to experience these waves through Meg. So as a collective, we get to experience all of that because we have these bodies. So where are we going with that now? We spent eons kind of being unconscious in this body. We've kind of made the body a bad thing. it gets sick, it gets old, it gets tired, it does that. It could be amazing sometimes, it could be a total burden other times. That time is coming to an end. This is the time we're moving into, is that we celebrate these amazing bodies that we've created, we've evolved over the years. When we get, now we're going to start taking care of it in a way that we embody that source energy that we are, and we take all of this and we get to embody it, live it, experience it, and then take this, all that we experience, and take it back to source. And we get to do that consciously. That's what we get to do. And that's why this year, Ma is bringing health span as a word. And I think it's a brand new word. I was translating it in the fall. It's like health span. Oh, lifespan, but healthy. Got it. There is no Japanese word for this, so I'm just going to say health span and make a new word. And health span is what we're moving into. Becoming aware of every cell in the body, knowing that the cells came to be whole. They came, our cells, we created our cells, and each cell is a living being, a part of us. And we created that to experience life fully, take it in. And then the cells can communicate that out to source through our nervous system, through our being. Like each and every one of us experienced life here, and then we all get to kind of pool like POOL, pool all of our experiences together and bring it to source, the same way all of our cells pool all of our experiences through our physical, and let our whole being experience that. And we want to do that consciously. And how do we do that consciously? How do we evolve, awaken, and go into that awakening consciousness, from awakening to enlightened to ascension consciousness? As we move into that tier of awakening, we want to be able to give ourselves that opportunity to be free of all the old guck. There's no better word for it, but sticky, gluey, icky, tarry stuff. That's what it feels like in energy work. To be free of all that. It's like, taking off stickers off of a jar or something, and you have Gooby Gone, and it melts it all off. Not that Gooby Gone is that nice, but that feeling, that lemony, when all that guck is off, and it's just like the glass becomes like shiny clear, that feeling? It's like, how do we take all that guck out of ourselves? That's what Ma's taking us through this year, on a physical level, on an emotional level, on a mental level. We've never done it to this extent before. I studied healing, the healing arts, and I was like this perpetual student. I was just sharing today with a friend, I have some friends, that I was originally finance. I spent 10 years in the Wall Street finance company, and I made a little nest egg of money, and I was going to go for my MBA. So I had a little money set aside for my MBA, And then I met the dragons and they told me to do something else. So I had to like, okay, I'm not going to do my MBA, I guess. So I went into healing and I just used all the money I had saved to go get an MBA on every teacher I could, everything I could learn for 10 years. What I can say from all that experience, where we're going with healing now, where Ma's taking us with healing now, is a whole new paradigm. Healing as we've known it, and speaking as a, you that's been my domain for 30 years. Healing as we've known it is shifting 180. We're moving into place because we're moving out of sick care, meaning how do I get rid of this symptom or that symptom, or how do I, get my leg or my back this, that. You're moving out of that to the place where the body is fully the conduit between this dimensional experience that we're having and source, where we have a physical body that's fully able to be that bridge between all that is source and life in the physicality on this planet, and to be living as fully awakened, enlightened, ascendant beings in an awakened, enlightened body here. That's where we're heading with healing. That's where we're heading with health. Well, how does that feel? Right? Isn't it amazing? And I've met many teachers, and I honor all of them. I've met incredible teachers, whether it's Stephen, whether it's Drumbolo, whether it's Rosalind, amazing, amazing teachers. And they're all evolving what they're teaching. It's all an evolution. And what Ma's bringing on all levels, body, mind, spirit, physical. What does a cell need? What nutrients? What does it need to be upgraded to the level of cellular structure that's needed to be this conduit? Where are we going with our mental body to clear everything so that we're fully able to bring in this continuum, this conduit that we're beyond the veil and here simultaneously fully? Where are we with the emotional body that we live an enlightened emotional life? That's like full expression of life, that fullness, that joy, that awe of life. Like when I'm watching Mama, it's in awe of life. There's nothing, with everything going on, in Ma's eyes, this world is amazing. It's like, oh my God, life is amazing. Life is wonderful. And I watch Ma in that. It's like, I want some of that. I want more of that. I want to live life with that level of awe for life. And that's where we're heading. That's where we're heading. That's where I'm heading. I'm like on Ma's coattails. I'm going with Ma. Where are you going? I'm going. How about you? Yes. Health span is coming up. We've got health spans going 4 times this year, and more as Ma's bringing it out. Ma created the program so we can keep going, and because it's layers, it's layers, it's layers. They think the questions come out, are all 4 going to be the same? No way. It can't be, because Ma is daily evolving the work every day, hours and hours, because I had the opportunity, I'm having the opportunity to be with Ma, going through this process of every day Ma's evolving the work. So at like 4 times this year, we're getting Ma's stoning us into how far Ma's brought the work in the last 3 months, in the last month, and Ma's bringing us up to date into the work with Ma at every junction, because it's like phenomenal what Ma's doing, the work that Ma's doing, and it's the energy. It's like you have to be in it every day. You really do. Otherwise, it's like you can get so disoriented. It's like so much coming into the world. Have you felt a little dizzy recently? Or a little like the kitchen? Like, I'm not sure why I came in the kitchen. Maybe it was for this cucumber. I'm sure there was something else, but I'm going to take this cucumber over here. No, whether it's through your meditation, whether it's through being in stillness, whether it's through watching the sunset every day, whatever it is that you can do to continuously drop into that field that Ma is bringing to us. And that's why Ma created the membership, so that we can keep dialing into it every day, whatever level. It doesn't have to be this level, that, it doesn't matter. Whatever level you can do that's comfortable, just be there daily. And L-span every time, like, oh my gosh, in the 1 month since global unity, has it been a month yet? Not even. In this time since global unity, how much work has progressed. And Ma's bring all that to San Diego. Then Ma will bring all that to Europe. Ma will bring all that to Japan. Ma will bring all that to Denver. Ma will bring all that to global unity again. It's like, so it's amazing what's here. We're in the middle of. We're in the middle of this. Can you feel it? I don't know about you. My hands are like really buzzing, tingling. Open yourself to that. Take a breath, breathe it in, because that soma, that mana, that shakti, whatever you want to call it, that life force is all around you, and your cells are just sucking it in. Make the space, allow it to come in. It's so, so precious, because you can only receive it here on earth. Receive it all the way. You receive other things on other levels. I'm not saying that it's that's a whole nother story. But while we're here, what we can receive while we're only here, suck it in, suck it up. I mean, in another way from how it's usually used. Bring it in. Breathe fully, live fully, love fully. Just be passionate about life. That's what it's about. Yes? It's so good to see you. I really, really, it's so good to see you. I'm just going to be flipping through here and watching all your beautiful faces. Yes, yes. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Oh, I love you so much. I love you so much. I mean, I got like so much love that I can't contain it. I hope you're feeling it. Feeling it come to you. It's this incredible love that Ma's showering, and it's like so much that I want to give to each and every one of you. I'm going to be at Healthspan physically, as hopefully many of us here, and hopefully many of us here will be online, physically there, however you're there. And if you're not there, you know the dates. Drink it in. There's no lack. There's no lack. It's all here. It's all available. I love you. And I forgot that Triveni said I'm supposed to give time for questions. So sorry. I got a little bit carried away there. Triveni.
Rajeshwari. I'm just soaking it in here. I am just soaking it in.
Awesome.
Oh, it's so good to be with you and feel the work that's unfolding through you as well, and knowing that is available to all of us. And I really invite all of us to open to feel what's available this year, 2023. Yes to life, health span, vibrancy, new paradigm of health, new paradigm of relationship with our body. And I'm just so grateful that you said yes and joined us here. And we do have a few minutes. So if anyone has a question, we can pop that into the chat now. And while we're getting questions, I just want to share what the dates are for that program, because I did see some people were asking about the timing of it. So the upcoming Healthspan by Design program, and Saima is going to be teaching this, and Rajeshwari will be there. She'll be one of the teachers and a few others, is going to be February 4th and 5th. So it's a Saturday and Sunday in California, in San Diego. Beautiful San Diego community is hosting us there. I saw Paulette and others on this webinar now. Thank you. We're looking forward to seeing you. So the 4th and the 5th. On Saturday, it's going to go from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. Pacific time. And Sunday, it's going to go from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time. And on Saturday night, there'll be an opportunity for a Saima energy session. All of that information is on our website. So if you go to awakenlife.love and click on the health span, down the FAQs, there's the timing for the first one, there's the program, all of that is there. And again, you could drop any questions you have into the chat. Love to see what questions you have. And I do want to share that as members, and I asked members who was a member at the beginning of the event, you do get special access and pricing to this event. So the total pricing is $597 for the 2 days with Ma and the teachers. And the Awakening Mastery membership, which is our first level of membership, get 35% off. So that brings it down to $388. And we'll share this in the slide at the end. Grand Design is half off, $299. And then, of course, the Saima Consciousness, it's included. And you're welcome to join a membership which supports you before and after the event as well, so that we're held. And as Rajeshwari Ma said, every moment, every day of our lives, we have the opportunity to be in this energy. So it looks like there are some questions here.
There
Yeah,
are
go
some
ahead.
questions. So yes, Oakley asking about taking back to source. What I meant by that was we've come here on earth to experience different things. And as source creation, we're always wanting to experience ourselves in all of our different facets. It's like our whole kind of reason to be is to explore and to experience. So whenever we experience things here on earth, we get to kind of bring that back. I kind of feel like we bring it back to our nervous system from we bring from source to here, but we bring it also here from source. Like we're putting it into the akash, or the bucket of all the experiences that we as creators have had, and that enriches everybody. So that's what I meant. Does that make sense?
You got a thank you there. So
Okay, great. And I also see
there's a question of how to strengthen the CNS.
how to strengthen the central nervous system. Well, one is de-stress. The central nervous system can get like really stressed, right, in our day-to-day life, whether it's stressed through work, stress through the environment, like pollution, whether it's noise, whatever. It's stress through food, if we food that is very stressful for the body. So one way to strengthen the nervous system, like this is very simplistic in one level, but it's de-stressing the body, giving the nervous system a place to breathe. Otherwise, it's like constantly like this, and it just like like a muscle. A muscle's like this, it just atrophies, right? When a muscle can move and breathe, like go into action and go into rest, go into action, go into rest. The nervous system also needs that. So on so many levels, de-stressing the body is important.
Yeah, that's great. So there was a question around in person and online. So Healthspan by Design is going to be in person in San Diego and broadcasted online. So it's a hybrid event. You can participate in person or online. And on Friday night before the event starts, there's going to be a darshan, which is a blessing with Saima in person only. So if you are coming to San Diego, Friday night's the darshan in person, Saturdays, Sundays in person, and it's also online.
Kimberly, will the fourth health span Japan be included? Actually, the fourth health span is not Japan. Well, I don't know where it is. Is there 3 or 4? But Japan has a separate program, which at the moment, working title, Spirit Healing. Ma said Japan will have Spirit Healing in mid-April, and that is included in the same way with the memberships, and Triveni can speak on that, but it'll be handled in the same fashion as the health span programs.
So we'll have the health span upcoming in San Diego early February. We'll have the Spirit Healing, the program in Japan that'll be taking place in April. We'll have the health span in Belgium and online in May, and then in Denver and online in early July. So there's the 3 health spans and the Japan program and the Saima consciousness, all part of it.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And
Extraordinary.
all are online and in person.
Yes.
So I think I got, did I miss that question?
I didn't see any.
Oh, expand on the point that this body is a bridge to source. Yes, just briefly, because when I teach this, it's like very, it takes a little while. I'll teach it so you can get a snippet and a taste for it. When I see the body as this bridge, and I talked about the nervous system as being one way of seeing it as a bridge, a conscious mind, when you go deeper into like meditation, for example, the mind goes from a beta state into an alpha state. You start moving into subconscious. When you go even deeper, sometimes people call it sleeping state. When you go deeper into like the theta or delta state, you're literally going back into the source. You're not conscious. Most people, every night, everybody goes back to source. They just don't remember it. So if you could consciously do that, you're bridging the nervous and the body is a way you can actually travel back, travel up, well, travel into that remembrance. So we're always connected. We're never disconnected. We're just not aware. So we're moving into that remembrance and living with awareness of that connection. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay.
One question: what time is darshan on Friday? It's you can sign up for different slots depending on when you registered, but the darshan itself will start at 5:30 California time.
Wonderful. So good to see everybody. I feel very honored that you've all come to join us tonight. I know you're all busy and all around the world. I'm so grateful that you're here, that I was able to share, and I look forward to this year's journey with you, all of you. Healthspan is going to be a huge part of my year, as it is for many of us at Saima's organization around the world, as teachers, as students, as brahmachari, as all of that. So I look forward to our journey together. Thank you for being here. Jai Saima.
Thank you, Rajeshwari Ma. Let's all just soak it in and offer our gratitude, Rajeshwari, to Ma, to all of us as we dive into this year together. Thank you for joining this webinar, for being part of this community. Deep love and gratitude to all. Om Jai Jai Sai.